And, Your Honor, at this time, the defense calls the defendant, Skylar Sinclair.
Come around, Ms. Sinclair. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury, spelling your last name for the record?
I'm Skylar Sinclair, Sinclair.
How old are you, Miss Sinclair?
I'm 21.
Do you go to school?
Yes, I'm a junior at Midland State University.
Miss Sinclair, we've heard a lot of claims about you from the prosecution today. But I want to give the jury a chance to hear this directly from you. Did you kill Officer Jamie Robinson?
No, I didn't do it.
How did you know Officer Robinson?
I was involved in selling prescription drugs, Adderall, and study drugs. My roommate, Alex, decided that we needed more help, so she brought in, I knew him as Mickey Keenan, but Officer Robinson.
Why did you start selling these study drugs?
I needed the money. My mom lost her job my freshman year. I was already working 2 jobs, 30 hours a week. I needed to pay for school. I know that doesn't make it right, and I wish that I never did it, but that's why.
Who brought you into the drug operation?
Alex, my roommate.
Miss Sinclair, I'd like to talk a little bit about Alex Everett. How do you know each other?
We've lived together since freshman year.
Could you tell the members of the jury what Miss Everett looks like?
She has brown hair. She's tall and pale. She has green eyes.
You said that Alex Everett is the one who brought you into the drug operation. What exactly was her role in it?
Well, she was in charge. She brought in me. She brought in Mickey. She brought in the drugs from, she called them her supplier.
Who was the supplier?
She said his name was Malcolm, but I never met him.
Did Alex ever talk to you about Malcolm?
Yeah, he'd come up a lot.
What kinds of things did she say?
She'd say that Malcolm was watching us, or Malcolm was having us tailed, or we needed to be sure not to mess up because Malcolm would know, he would find out.
Miss Sinclair, did you believe these things that Alex Everett would say about Malcolm?
No. I knew he was dangerous, but to me, it sounded like a conspiracy theory. I figured we were college students selling study drugs.
Objection. Speculation. Your Honor, she's simply testifying to whether or not she believed the things that Alex Everett would say about the supplier Malcolm.
Objection sustained.
Motion to strike that testimony.
Motion granted.
Miss Sinclair, were you scared of Malcolm?
At the time, no, I didn't know him. No.
Now, Miss Sinclair, we've heard about an email that you sent to Officer Jamie Robinson on March 12th. Do you remember sending that email?
Yes, I do.
Why did you send that email?
I'd gotten into this fight with Alex the night before at this party. She started telling me that I needed to prove myself, that I was letting too many people go on their payments. I was trying to show both of them that I could be intimidating. I shouldn't have sent it. I didn't mean to be serious, that's why I signed it, your partner in crime.
Now, Miss Sinclair, I'd like to ask you some questions about March 18th. We've heard today that the murder took place sometime between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Where were you during that time?
I was at a concert at school.
What kind of concert?
It was a sitar concert. I had to go for a class. If I didn't go, I would fail the class.
What time was the concert?
It was 8 to 10:30.
Did you stay the whole time?
Yes, I had to in order to sign in at the end.
Miss Sinclair, we've heard that a silver Honda was seen at the marina on the night of March 18th. Do you own a silver Honda?
Yeah, my cousin passed it down to me when he graduated, moved to New York.
Do you know if Alex Everett had access to that silver Honda?
I didn't think so. I never gave Alex a key.
Do you have any idea how she might have gotten access to that Honda?
Objection to speculation.
Your Honor, she can certainly testify to whether or not she knows if Alex Everett may have had access to that Honda.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Well, that wasn't the question that was asked. The objection sustained.
May I proffer, Your Honor?
You may ask a different question.
Miss Sinclair, do you have another set of keys?
I had a spare key, but I don't know where it is.
Who were you living with at the time that you lost that spare key?
Alex.
When's the last time that you saw your Honda?
Sometime early in March.
Have you seen it since March 18th?
No, I haven't seen it.
Miss Sinclair, we've heard today that your blood was found on an orange bat. Do you know whose orange bat that is?
It's Alex's bat. She keeps it in the trunk of my car.
Are you ever in contact with that bat?
No, I'm not supposed to touch it.
Well, do you have any idea how your blood might have ended up on that bat?
I get hurt sometimes in softball practice. I get hit with the ball or things like that. I'll get a bloody nose.
Miss Sinclair, we've heard that some text messages were sent to Officer Robinson on the night of the 18th. Did you send those text messages?
No, I didn't even have the phone that day. There was this phone you were supposed to use to contact him. I didn't have it. Alex took it that day.
What day were you arrested, Miss Sinclair?
March 20th.
Was Alex Everett arrested on that same day?
No, she wasn't there. She left.
What do you mean she left?
March 19th, I saw on the news what happened to Mickey, and I wanted to talk with her about it, so I went to see if she was there, and she wasn't. She was gone. She never left like that without leaving a note or saying goodbye.
Did you try to contact her?
Yeah, I tried to call her, ask her what was going on.
Did she get back to you? Did she respond?
No, she didn't answer.
Did she ever respond to your messages?
No. I tried calling her and texting her and asking her where she was and what was going on and telling her that I needed her. And she never answered. I still haven't heard from her. I haven't talked to her since March 18th.
Miss Sinclair, did you kill Officer Jamie Robinson?
No. I know my car was there, but I wasn't driving it. I didn't do this.
Thank you for your testimony, Miss Sinclair. Nothing further.
Cross?
Yes, Your Honor. Before I begin, may I retrieve Exhibit 5 from the members of the jury?
Certainly.
And may I set up a few enlargements in the
All
well?
right.
Thank you. Miss Sinclair, you'd agree with me, last month you were involved in a drug dealing ring, right?
Yes, I wish I didn't do it.
Ma'am, you were involved in that drug dealing ring with this man, correct?
Yeah, that's Mickey.
Miss Sinclair, 6 days before this man died, you threatened to kill him, didn't you?
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that. I just sent it because of what Alex said.
Your Honor, may I turn around an enlargement of State's Exhibit 7?
All right.
Ms. Sinclair, you'd agree with me you wrote this email, didn't you?
I did, yes.
When you addressed this email to Mickey, that's what you thought this man's name was, correct?
Yes, that's how he introduced himself.
Ms. Sinclair, when you wrote in this email, if you go to the cops, it will be your last act on this earth, you didn't know that this man was a police officer, did you?
No, but I didn't mean that. I didn't read. I just sent it because of what Alex said.
Ms. Sinclair, that's a no?
No, I didn't know he was a cop.
And Ms. Sinclair, you just said you only sent this email because of what your roommate said, but you'd agree with me, you wrote, I personally guarantee it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was trying to show both of them that I could be intimidating. I could do my job, but I didn't mean it. That's why I signed it, your partner in crime.
Ms. Sinclair, this email where you were trying to be intimidating, this is the only email that you ever sent that man, Jamie Robinson, right?
That's right, yeah. Normally I didn't send him emails.
Ms. Sinclair, 6 days later, on March 18th, your roommate sent you an email about this same man, correct?
Yeah, Alex did.
Your Honor, I'm approaching opposing counsel with what's been marked for identification as Exhibit 9. They're all the same. I'm handing the defendant what's been marked as Exhibit 9, and here's a copy.
Thank you.
Ms. Sinclair, you recognize this as that email that your roommate sent you on March 18th?
Yes.
You'd agree with me the time on here. It's 9:02 p.m.
Yeah, it is.
We offer Exhibit 9.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
May I turn around an enlargement of that exhibit?
You may.
Ms. Sinclair, you recognize this as a larger version of that same email you're holding, correct?
Yeah, that's the same.
You'd agree with me that when your roommate mentions Mickey in this email, well, that's the same person you thought that you were sending this email to, correct?
Yeah, it is.
When your roommate mentions Malcolm in this email, that's what you thought the head of that drug dealing ring was, right?
That's what Alex said.
Now, Ms. Sinclair, when your roommate wrote, if it's all over BNN, the next thing you did was you went to BNN's website, right?
Yeah, I didn't understand Alex's email.
Your Honor, I'm showing opposing counsel what's been marked for identification as Exhibit 13. Sure. And I'm handing the defendant what's been marked as Exhibit 13. Here's a copy. Ms. Sinclair, you recognize this as that news article that you went to on March 18th?
Yeah, but I didn't read all of it that night.
Ma'am, I know you're saying that now, but this article, it looks the same?
Well, I didn't. I didn't read all of it that night.
You'd agree with me the headline, it's the same?
Yes, the headline's the same.
The time on here is 9 p.m.?
Yes, that's right.
The date on here is March 18th?
Yes, it is.
We offer Exhibit 13, and both parties have stipulated that this is an accurate reflection of that website as it appeared from 9 p.m. on March 18th to 5 a.m. on March 19th.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
May I turn around an enlargement of that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Sinclair, again, you recognize this as a larger version of that same article you're holding, correct?
Yeah, that's the same.
Now, you remember reading the name Avery Bancroft in this article, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand it. That's why I closed it.
Ma'am, I know you're saying that now, but you'd agree with me, the name Avery Bancroft, it appears right next to this photo, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I was looking at the article on my phone, so the photo didn't load.
Ma'am, again, I know you're claiming that now, but all I'm asking is what you see right now on this document.
Objection? Just argumentative as to claiming that now.
Sustained.
She said what she said.
Sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just ask the question without editorializing.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Sinclair, you'd agree with me. That's how this document appears right now, the name Avery Bancroft next to this photo.
Yeah, but that night I was looking at it on my phone and the picture didn't load.
Ms. Sinclair, in the paragraph below this photo, it even mentions Mickey Keenan, doesn't it?
Right, but I just looked at the words in bold. I was in the middle of the concert. I didn't want to leave my phone out for that long, so I looked at the things in bold. And I didn't know who Jamie Robinson was or Avery Bancroft, so I closed it.
Miss Sinclair, that was a yes.
Yeah, that's right.
You'd agree with me, the man in this picture, that's who you thought was named Mickey Keenan, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You'd agree with me in this paragraph, it says Mickey Keenan is an undercover police officer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it says that.
It says he's a police officer named Jamie Robinson, right?
Right, but I didn't know that at the time.
Ma'am, that's a yes, that's what this says.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Now, Miss Sinclair, it's your testimony that after you got this email from your roommate telling you fix it, you stayed at that concert?
Yeah, I had to. It was the end of midterm season. I had to write a paper about the concert that night.
Miss Sinclair, you'd agree with me. You owned a ski mask, didn't you?
Yeah, I wore it to a cops and robbers party earlier. I tossed it in the back of my trunk afterward.
Well, that's right. And after you tossed it in the back of your trunk, well, that was the last time you saw it, correct?
Yeah, I left it in that box of Goodwill things, but I didn't see it after that.
So, ma'am, you're telling us the last time that you saw that mask, it was in the back of your car?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, your roommate, she owned a bat, correct?
Yeah, a softball bat.
Your roommate stored that bat in the trunk of your car as well, right?
Yeah, she asked me to store it there.
Now, Miss Sinclair, you told us a few moments ago that you didn't see that car after the beginning of March, but you'd agree with me. You never reported your car missing, did you?
Well, I didn't go looking for it. The car is parked in a parking lot, like school lot, and I didn't need it March 18th to March 20th, and then I was arrested.
Miss Sinclair, that's a no. You told us you never saw your car after the beginning of March, but you didn't report it missing.
Well, not after the beginning of March, but I didn't need it in the middle of March. I was in the middle of midterms. I wasn't going home. And then March 20th, I was arrested.
Now, Miss Sinclair, you heard Robin Wheeler testify earlier that she saw a silver Honda at the Midlands Marina, right?
Yeah, I heard her say that.
Your car is a silver Honda?
It is, yeah.
You heard Robin Wheeler testify earlier that that silver Honda had the license plate MSU Boss, correct?
Yeah, that's my license plate. It was my car, but I wasn't driving it.
Miss Sinclair, that was your car at the Midlands Marina on March 18th?
Objection?
Grounds?
Speculation. The witness wasn't there to see whether or not it was her car at the marina.
The witness just said, that's my car.
Overruled. Answer the question.
Miss
You can.
Sinclair, that was your car at the Midlands Marina on March 18th?
I think so, but I wasn't driving it. I wasn't there.
It has your license plate?
Yeah, it does.
No further questions.
All right.
Your Honor, may I retrieve that evidence and publish it to the jury?
Yes,
Redirect, Your Honor.
in a moment.
Thank you.
All right, you may proceed.
Miss Sinclair, I just want to clear a couple of things up. This article, this BNN article, how much of this article did you read on March 18th?
I was in the concert, so just the parts that were in bold.
And just to be clear, this photograph of this man, were you able to see that photograph when you were looking at this article?
No, I was in the concert hall. There wasn't very good reception, so the picture didn't load.
So when Alex Everett wrote in this email, "It's all over BNN," did you have any idea what she was talking about?
No, I didn't understand it. I figured I'd just talk to her about it later, but then the next day she was gone.
Thank you, Miss Sinclair. Nothing further.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Step down, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
May we take these down?
Yes. Further evidence from the defense?
No, Your Honor. With the defendant's testimony, the defense rests its case, although we would ask, before we close the case in chief, to read one stipulation onto the record.
You may.
Or rather two, actually. From stipulation 6, Skylar St. Clair is a female and 5 feet 9 inches tall. St. Clair has brown hair. Alex Everett is 6 feet 0 inches tall, 3 inches taller than St. Clair. Everett has brown hair and is the same gender as St. Clair. Everett is right-handed.
All right.
And with that, we close our case in chief.
All right.
That's fine with us, Your Honor. May we have a brief recess before we move into closing arguments?
We'll stand in recess for 5 minutes.
And in the meantime, may we retrieve evidence and set up the well?
You may.